What's going on, everyone? Here we are in Tahit in Algeria. I've been thinking a little bit about, after being in Algeria for a few days and also after visiting Morocco before, I'm gonna make a kind of a comparison between the two, and I'm gonna tell you in a Morocco versus Algeria kind of setting what are the pluses in visiting Algeria. I'm gonna give you 5 positive aspects of traveling in Algeria versus doing the same in Morocco. So here we go. Number 1, if you're gonna be traveling by car, and I'm gonna put this into my own perspective, to my own experience, which has been road trips both through Morocco and through Algeria, the fuel is absurdly cheaper in Algeria. We're talking about, like, this is not even comparable to the kind of prices that we have in Europe or even in the US. I just want to say for the record, we're filling up the whole tank with fuel for 12 euros. Each liter of gas in Algeria is 20 dinars, which is around 1/6 of a euro. Right? 1 euro is 120 dinars. Do the math. We're talking about filling up a whole tank of BJ73 Land Cruiser, which takes like 80 liters or something. We are talking about filling up one of those with 12 euros. It's insane. It's just not even comparable. So that's a big plus, especially if you want to do long distances in this absurdly huge country. It's the biggest country in Africa. So it's a big plus. Number 2, Algeria, when it comes to how genuine the place is and how closer to the actual culture of the place you are, without all the, you know, all the little funny fluffy things that they prepare for the tourist, and even the way they react with tourists and the way they treat you and talk to you. You notice if you travel a bit, you start to recognize this pattern, especially in countries that have a lot of tourism. There is this kind of facade, you know. Some people interact with tourists in a specific way, like they can tell you're a tourist and they're gonna behave accordingly. You know, I'm not sure if I'm making myself clear here, but I'm pretty sure some of you will understand. But my point is that Algeria is way more genuine. It's way more genuine because the place has no tourism, which is in itself might be an advantage depending on what type of traveling you like to do. That's one thing. It's like it's just way more genuine. You're more in contact with the culture. Number 3 is it relates to number 2, but it's more specific. The people are nicer in Algeria in general. They are not as suspicious, or they are not as aggressive sometimes. The people are just nicer. They are everyone. We're talking about here, for example, in Tahit. This is a tiny town in the middle of the Sahara, and there's like 1,000 people here, and tourism is extremely low in this part of Algeria, especially now, which is Ramadan, which is even worse. Every single person in the street says hi, or if you wave, they wave back. I've done this to hundreds of people in this country already. Everybody says hi back. The simple things, you know, the little things. They receive you. We've had people saying, you wanna come and eat at my place. We have had a guy that received us in his little sort of hostel that he had, but he wasn't even supposed to be working because he was on vacation. Again, Ramadan, right? But he made the exception of preparing a room for me and my dad. I mean, the people are just great. I'm not saying that the people in Morocco are not nice or anything, but it's clearly different in Algeria, clearly different. So number 4, and this is kind of also related with the fact that you know, tourism is way more limited. There's no scams. There is absolutely no scams in this country. You know, when you are walking in a market or whatever, and they charge you like 10 times more because you're a tourist or you're a foreigner or whatever, which is an everyday experience if you travel in Morocco. If you've been to Fez, Meknès, Marrakech, Casablanca, Rabat, all of those, you go to, you know, little souks or little marketplaces, you have to bargain for every single thing, and you better bargain well, or else you get ripped off all the time. So, and here this simply doesn't exist, at least from our experience. We've been to a ton of stores, we've bought stuff on the street, we've bought bread from a random old guy in the road who didn't speak French at all. He only spoke Arabic, And I actually thought he was overcharging me at first, because you know, you come with this kind of pre-thing mindset that you're just gonna think there's gonna be scams, because you know, it's just the way it is in countries like Morocco or Tunisia or Egypt. Forget that in Algeria, that doesn't happen. And finally, number 5. This is also a relative thing. It has its own disadvantage, but I'm going to talk about that when I talk about the advantages of Morocco, which is coming up. And the advantage is very clear. Algeria is safer. It's a safer place. It's a safer country, because there is a lot of police and a lot of military personnel everywhere. I know this obviously can be seen as a disadvantage because of, you know, over security, all that. But we've had experiences that kind of put this a little bit into perspective. I've been with we've met a few police officers in Tlemcen, and they took our passports, and then they were asking us to go with them to a police station. And I was thinking, just we're screwed. These guys are just going to ask us for money, and they're not going to give us our passports back. I was just expecting the worst. Again, I was in the country. It was my second day in the country back then, so I was just more on the defensive, I guess. But it turned out that we were just talking for half an hour. I did show the guy, one of the officers, the pictures I had in my camera. He didn't complain at all. It was fine. I didn't photograph anything sensitive either. So, but in general, the thing is, you are very controlled in Algeria. No matter where you go, if you stay in a hotel, you always have to give your passports to whoever receives you, being it in a fancy hotel like this, which is pretty much the only thing you get in Tahit, or the more humble house that we spent the night the day before, because they always have to report where you are. No matter, and we've had people asking us a ton of times, so where are you going? Where did you come from? Where is your next destination? Where are you gonna stay in the next 3, 4, 5 days? So yeah, there's a lot of control. But the thing is, crime is extremely limited here, and I can tell you stories like when I was in Morocco, I've seen this is unfortunate stuff, but I've seen like people just fighting in the street a few times. And by the way, I saw that like my first day there. When I was in Tangier, I saw that happening like twice, just like that. Tons of drug dealers in the street. In Tangier alone, I was approached like 15 times in one night. I'm not exaggerating. It was just like that. And not only I haven't been approached once since I've been here, I also heard stories that if you actually get caught with drugs here, you just go to jail. That's it. That's the end of it. But I'm seeing that from a positive angle. You can just travel freely as long as you tell them where you're going. And the thing is, we didn't actually plan our whole route previously. We were actually thinking about going from Oran to Algiers, and we changed our mind. We went all the way south. We did like 800 kilometers to the south, so we could see the Sahara and the dunes and all that. And it was fine. We didn't actually had to formalize anything with the police. So that's what I mean. It's safe. Some people might think it's a little bit over the top, because there is police everywhere. It's comparing that to Morocco, it's just crazy, or to any European country. And that's pretty much, yeah. Another thing that I'd like to mention as a side note. It's funny because because this country is more genuine, and it seems like a sort of a contradiction. In Morocco, I was only allowed in one mosque, and it was a mosque that was highly touristic, and it was pretty much with the tour around. I wasn't allowed in any other mosque. In Algeria, I've been in 2 mosques already, and I didn't pay a thing, no tour, no nothing. Fair enough, an imam tried to convert me in one of those. Obviously, it didn't work, but you know, I guess it's the price. A nice guy, all that. I'm gonna make a video about that. I'm gonna talk about that in a separate video. But again, I mean, it's just you're a foreigner in a country that doesn't have that mindset for the tourists, which is a very good thing. We're making new friends. Yeah, right. This random dude was just walking around. Pretty hungry, but we've found some milk for him already, so it's all good. So yeah, these are the 5 advantages that I can just tell you right off the bat about traveling in Algeria. So I'm going to talk about advantages of traveling in Morocco very soon. So safe travels and keep expanding.